Jefferson is attacked as an effete intellectual who's an apostate and a radical revolutionary who has no faith and is therefore immoral.
The leader, Gandhi used religious principle to inspire people to fight against colonial oppression in India.
Mother Teresa is one of the great humanitarians of the 20th century because of her ability to love those who were the most vulnerable in society. The work she did in India really challenged entrenched notions of caste and gender roles, and she worked very closely with lepers.
These are the dark secrets about the people you were taught to worship. We call them heroes. We build them statues, but history has a dark side that the textbooks hide, from secret agents to brutal crimes. These are the truths they don't want you to know. Once you see the real story, you will never look at these idols the same way again. Thomas Jefferson wrote that all men are created equal. It is the most famous line in American history. But while he wrote about freedom, he owned over 600 slaves. He preached liberty, but only freed two people in his entire life. Even worse, he had a long relationship with an enslaved woman named Sally Hemings. She was his property, which means she could never legally give her consent. The man who defined freedom lived a life built on slavery. Mahatma Gandhi is the father of peace, but he had a hidden side that many people ignore. During his time in South Africa, his writings were filled with racism. He openly stated that Indians were vastly superior to black Africans. He fought for justice for his own people, but he looked down on others based on the color of their skin. The man of peace had. Mother Teresa is the global symbol of love, but inside her clinics, there was a horrible reality. Nurses reused dirty needles over and over again. Patients were crying in pain, but she refused to give them medicine because she believed that suffering brought people closer to God. Millions of dollars in donations poured in from around the world, but instead of buying medicine or beds, most of that money was sent directly to the Vatican Bank.
1991 investigation by a German news magazine called Stern revealed that only 7% of the money at that time was actually used for charity. The money has been controlled by the Vatican since 1965, and there's no transparency about how it's used.
Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Instead, he brought a nightmare to the people already living there. As governor, he was so cruel that he cut off the hands of natives who couldn't find gold. He sold children into slavery and was so violent that his own country arrested him. He was carried back to Spain in chains because he was too brutal even for the kings of the 15th century. Walt Disney built the happiest place on earth, but behind the magic mouse was a man who worked with the FBI. He was a secret informant who reported HIS on employees to the government to destroy their careers. He hated unions and filled his early movies with racist stereotypes. The man who made your childhood dreams was busy creating real-life nightmares for the people who worked for him. John F. Kennedy was the charming president of Camelot. The world saw a perfect family man, but the truth was a dangerous game. He had countless affairs, including one with a 19-year-old intern. Most dangerously, he was involved with a woman who was also dating a top Mafia boss. His private secrets were so dirty that the FBI used them to control him. The leader of the free world was being held hostage by his own lies. History is not a fairy tale. It is messy and complicated. We don't tell you these things to destroy these people, but to show you the truth. A hero who cannot be questioned is not a hero at all. Which one surprised you the most?